أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Okay, here is problem 3, still on impulse momentum theorem. Okay, problem 3 reads, a graph below shows a varying force F applied to a mass of 10 kilogram. Okay, the force is varying. As you can see, it varies from a zero value to a value that we don't know, x. And how long does it take to act on the body? Firstly, it increases from 0 to this value that we don't know, then it remains constant until uh, until it takes 4 seconds, and then after 4 seconds it suddenly drops to 0 again in 1 second, because between 4 and 5 you have 1. Okay, the question is, what is the value of this x? This force acts on a mass, and that mass is 10 kilogram. The gain in momentum is in 5 seconds. The gain in momentum is in 5 seconds is what? 40 kilogram meter per second. So the question is, what is the value of x? So we will use impulse momentum theorem. But before we proceed, you look at what they say here. They say gain in momentum. Okay, I want to draw your attention to this. The language is changing, but the principle remains the same. Whether they say gain in momentum or change in momentum or increase in momentum, is one and the same thing. Okay, it's one and the same thing. It's just a choice of words. uh, um, Now, to solve this problem, we apply this principle. That say change in momentum is equal to the impulse. But since here they use gain instead of change, we will also change the word from change to gain. Okay, so we are now going to say gain instead of change. Gain in momentum. Gain in momentum, this means that the new velocity is greater than the initial velocity. Gain in momentum equals impulse. And how do we get this impulse? Simply is area under graph. Area under force time graph. And we are given the force time graph. You see that? This is our force here, time here. This is force time graph. Okay, how do we get the area under this graph? Very important. Again, let's call this O, A, B, C. Then I need this height. Okay, I need this. Let's call this D. Okay, I need the length from here to here. Okay, from here to here. How can I do that? It is here. So I draw line here, so I get the two opposite sides are equal. So to get this AB, I will just get my, let me call this E, I will just get my DE. And how do I do that? I will subtract the numbers I have here. 4 minus 1 is 3, so this is 3. Okay, then I need the length from here to here, from O to C. I will just say 5 minus 0, and this will give me 5. So OC is 5. Then the vertical here is if I go to the vertical, you see from here to here, it should be X here, but I don't know, so I will just say X. And this is my height, this is my A, this one is my B. So this should now be equal to, I will now look at the shape here. Is a trapezium, so the area of a trapezium is half into A plus B multiplied by H. But what about the gain in momentum? Am I giving the gain in momentum? In the problem, I am giving the gain in momentum, and they say the gain in momentum in 5 seconds is this. So I will now take this value 40 and bring it here. I have 40 here. This is 40. 40 is equal to this. You see? So now I can make substitution. 40 is equal to half into, then let's bring this one. My A is 3, so I write 3 here, plus my B is 5, so I write 5 here, then multiplied by x, because my h is x, I don't know it. Okay, so I will now put x here. Okay, so again, this is 40 here is equal to, how do I simplify this? So I bring my calculator here. Okay, I will now say 0 0.5. 0 0.5 is my half, so I open bracket and say 3 plus 5 close bracket. You see, something like this. Then I will now press equality sign. I have 4, so the whole of this one is 4, and I have x, so this is 4x. Next, I divide both sides by 4, so this is 40. I will divide my 40 by 4. Again, on the left hand side, I have 4x. I will divide this also by 4. Now, 40 divided by 4 is 10, is equal to this, cancel this. I have x, that is my x is equal to 10. But this x represent what? What does it represent? If you look at it, is on the vertical axis, and on the vertical axis the quantity is force, so this is a force value, and because it is a force value, we will give it a unit Newton for force. So your x is 10 Newton. That is it. You have solved it. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.